welcome to the No Kidding Podcast. I am Michael Johnson,
Oh, okay.
investigator and peach farmer.
That's quite the profession.
Yeah, I'm both a detective and a peach farmer.
Speaking of that, actually, we've also been really into lately. We've been watching like Japanese food channels, and
On YouTube?
yeah,
You mean like the silent ones where they just like make a thing and like nobody mention that, like nobody talks?
Yeah.
Because those are ambiance and they're
basically, yeah, that's what it is. But oh my gosh, there's so much good food there. Like there's so many things that I'm like, oh, that looks so good. But anyways, I was thinking of the peach because there was one where basically it's like these big fluffy pancakes that they make. I don't know what kind of batter this is, but it's...
Oh yeah, like souffle pancakes?
Is that what that is? Because it's not runny batter. It's very thick. And they're fluffy. And so like I don't know. Anyways, it looks delicious. But there's a peach one that they do. There's a strawberry one. There's like different flavors that they do. But the peach one, they boil the peach. Then they skin it because that helps take the skin off, I guess. And then they hollow it out. And then they fill it with this like these jelly balls. And then they turn it upside down so that when you cut into it, it just like spills out. Anyway, that really stood out to me. Not that it looked, I mean, I'm sure to somebody that would be, oh my gosh, amazing. But that was like the weirdest one to me. I was like, it looked like fish eggs just like coming out. But they were obviously fruity, probably fruity flavored because it went with that meal. But anyway.
How bad do you want to have milk bread?
Pretty bad, just so I can try it.
It's on Mills. You can get some.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh.
They have like little sweet rolls there made with milk bread. It's good. They have ones that are layered with maple syrup. So you can like peel them away and they have like little maple syrup layers. It's good.
Really? And they have that here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On Mills, like the, kind of our little Asia.
Yeah.
So it's really like little Vietnam, but they have all kinds of like Asian foods here.
Okay. Interesting. What did you know what like the place is called? I could like check it out.
Dong, a supermarket.
Oh, okay.
I always laugh at that name. There's also like a couple doors down. There's Dong, an import store. So I'm going to assume he expanded to do imports.
Oh, okay. So it's not...
They're really nice there. They have... I once went and I wanted to try... This was it was my birthday gift to our nieces. And I got them like a bunch of like foreign like Asian sodas.
Oh.
Yeah, and I got like I basically cleaned out their like drink case. And they were like, wow, if you're buying all this, she like threw in a couple of like extra free drinks and stuff from. She's like, if you like these, you'll probably like these, and like she went like to the back and like got some
That's so
like
nice.
weird ones, and I was like, okay, I'll try them out. Thank you.
Wow, cool. There's a YouTube video that like they show the whole store, like inside the store. That's cool.
Dong a supermarket.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does it have like annotations of where to find stuff? Because I'm always in there like, where is it?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Because they have like no signs.
I'm
in there,
honestly
so
like that at
every
every store I go to. So yeah.
That's it.
But anyways, so another one which I really want to find this girl and buy her stuff, but she basically started her own business in her garage in Japan, and she basically makes, it's almost like angel food cake, but I think it's better because it looks better. I don't know, but it's also like different flavors. So she has like a plain one, and she has like a chocolate chip one, a pineapple one, and like I think a peach one, and she also has gluten-free ones. And anyways, but so the reason I did a video on her is because she sells out every single day. And then she does everything in her little garage, and
Time to expand.
She bakes like a ton of stuff, a ton. So, yeah. And she makes like little cups, and she individually wraps every single one, and they're so perfectly done, and they just look so good. And she puts like icing inside of every one, and it just looks so good. And anyways, But I looked at her Instagram. I can't remember the name of her Instagram now. I wish I could share it because if you're in Japan, you go check her out. But apparently, she's like not open that much because she's kind of like, I'm open from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. or until I sell out. And she's only open like 2 or 3 days a week because she's like a single employee doing everything. So she probably has to take like a day to cook everything or bake everything and then a day to sell. And then she bakes again and then sells again. But yeah, she seems to be pretty happy. Like just, let me see if I can find her. It's like Coca.
Have you seen the channel that does like husband boxes?
Husband boxes?
Yeah. So I guess it's like one of those things that it's like traditional Japanese housewife sort of stuff where they will make like little bento boxes for their husband's day at work or whatever. And this one woman just like likes to do that for her husband. So she like catalogs. Well, it's not just one woman. There are a lot of YouTube channels out there, but there's one that's like particularly popular for it.
Really?
But yeah, it's just like she just catalogs like it's basically her doing her meal prep each week. So like every day she has a video where she like makes her husband like all these little boxes for his work and whatever, and they always look like super over the top and like delicious, and they have like a huge variety of like different like foods and stuff, like everything down from like squid to like little sushi rolls to like all sorts of stuff. I don't know.
Oh, nice. That's cool. So I found it. It's Coco no Tane. And I wish I could find the actual like YouTube video. I'll share it to Discord so that I remember to hopefully share it in the notes if you guys want to check it out.
There you go.
But yeah, so yeah, I don't know, like I love just watching pretty much Japanese anything. I think like it's so interesting to me because they're so good at everything and they take such pride in what they do, and they just really are good with attention to details, and that's so, what's the word, like satisfying,
Yeah, I think Asian cuisine is like my favorite thing to cook. Like you can really it's such a great mixture of flavors, and then also like there's a part of it that's just towards presentation, and I guess patience is another thing. Like there's a particular YouTuber, he's actually I believe Chinese. I believe I mentioned him on the channel. He's like Alvin Zhou.
Okay.
And he has like videos where basically he puts out very little videos. He has like I think like 10 videos in total. But yeah, they're just like you can tell that he puts like tons of effort into stuff, and he'll do like I think one of them's like 148-hour like chocolate cake, where he literally just like takes the time to like steep everything and like really make like flavors marinate and meld, and he takes the time to like craft each like step of the ingredient, like each ingredient that's like a step of the process, to like bring it to its like full potential to make like the best possible thing.
Oh, do you see? Yeah, like they must have the best stuff.
They're all like very aesthetic videos. Like there's no measurements or anything. It's just like his adventure, and they're all just like shot like in a very beautiful and like pleasing kind of aesthetic and ambiance kind of way.
Yeah,
they're really nice. They're really just like pleasant videos to watch.
That's so nice. I wish I could be like that. Maybe it's because of where I grew up and like all of that, and I actually do have incredible patience. I feel like as a person, I'm very patient with the externals. However, my own personal, I've learned, I think I'm too much of a perfectionist, which probably...
It sounds like it would go hand in hand with this.
That's what you would think. Yeah, you would think so. But I think that like I get so frustrated with myself when I don't do things how it is in my brain. You know what I mean? Like... I have this idea of how this is supposed to turn out. And yeah, like I'm really bad about, and it's something that I'm trying to get better at. And it's part of like why I started to learn longboarding is I knew I wasn't going to be good at it, but like I have to stick with something and like actually try it for a longer period of time and develop skills and like actually perfect things as I go and not expect myself to just be good at something the first time I try it. And not even the first time, but like the second time and the third time, because so far in my life, I just haven't had the patience with myself to do that. Like that's one reason why I like do not like cooking, because I always say like I'm so bad at cooking because the things that I want to cook and the way that I want it to turn out and everything, it's just like it never fulfills my expectations for how I think I should be able to do it. And so then I just get like self-conscious and like I get really down on myself. And so like I don't want to try again. At that point, I'm like, no, I'm not good. This is actually a really good example of this because but I went, we went to the mountains a while back. And one of the things that we do there now is we take a day where we go to Gatlinburg and we, for the younger kids to sort of like explore and enjoy all that has to offer. And one of the things that they have there is this laser tag game where you put on a vest and you have a gun and you run around a room and you try to like get each other out by tagging them. Everybody I think knows what laser tag is. But anyways. So,
the tag of lasers.
Yeah. Well, I went with Caleb and Paige as our niece. So Caleb is our nephew and Paige our niece and our other brother. And me, and I think there was maybe somebody else in there. I can't remember now. And I did pretty good, like with everybody else. So like with Tim and Paige and the other people, like I was getting a decent score. Not great, but like average, So I was...
You're wrecking those kids.
I wasn't wrecking them, but I was holding my own, But Caleb, man, I swear something was wrong with his vest. Like he would be standing in front of me and I would shoot him probably like 10 times and nothing would happen. Like he would not, nothing would happen. And then he would shoot me once and he would get me. I was getting so frustrated. I was like, no. Like this is impossible. And that one thing like that irritated me. Not irritate. I don't know if irritated is the right word. Cause I wasn't trying to make him feel like bad about that because I don't want to like discourage him or whatever, because the child he's fine. His self-esteem is fine. But, like I don't want to discourage like his whatever. So, and he went on to play like probably 10 more games. I was done after the first one because
you were raging.
Yeah, I was raging. I was like, I should be better than that. Like, I don't know, like... I
should be able to take out a 10-year-old. God dang it.
Or at least, like, I don't know, at least so... I don't know. So, like, and that's why I don't think I ever got into video games. That's one of the things that, like, discouraged me from video games because, like, I was never good at video games because, I don't know, like, I just couldn't do things well at first, And, like, I was like, ugh, this sucks. I'm not good at it. I'm done, Whereas, like...
Yeah.
I think that's true with a lot of things in my life that I feel, I don't know, probably was not the best mentality
I think
to have.
My experience with video games has definitely been something that I'm tempted to like recommend them to other people in an exercise of like becoming somebody who's good with sportsmanship, so to speak. And the fact that like it forces you to regularly face your own ineptitude and like failure enough that it could be like, for me, I felt like it was beneficial to the point where I'm like, hey, you win some, you lose some, and you just gotta learn to enjoy it when you win and learn from it when you lose.
Okay.
But my experience online has been that a lot of people don't come to the same conclusion.
I was gonna say my experience,
because most gamers that I meet,
yes, they're very
are not happy when they're losing.
No, like there is video game rage for sure. I'm sure there's tons of videos out there, but like kids nowadays too, like there's a couple kids I know they're very pretty normal kids, but then when they play video games, it's like you see that anger, that rage that's inside them, and you're scared. You're like, okay. But yeah, because it is frustrating. It's frustrating when like you think you're doing everything right. You think like your expectation of this moment is like higher, I guess, than your ability. And maybe there was something wrong with his vest. Maybe it was me. I just felt like I'm doing fine with the other people. I don't know, but maybe he was just way better. And he turns out he was way better. He smoked every single person in every single game he played for the next 10 games. He was at the very top.
Well, yeah, his vest was.
Yeah. Actually, I wasn't the only one who said that, because he went in there with like 3 college kids, like guys. And I actually like sidebarred and I was like, dude, like he needs some humbling. Like he needs
take that kid. That kid, I got a bounty on him. I'm putting a bounty on him right now.
And so they specifically were like trying to, and he still won. And they came out and they were like, dude, no, I don't know. There's something wrong with this gun. There's something his gun's got. Like, I was like,
I like how they come out like, he's unbeatable. I don't get it.
Yeah. And he was like, he smoked everybody. And I'm not talking like he just came out on top every time. He was like far above everybody else's points, like way above. So, so either he's like a savant at laser tag, or, you know, but I'm not calling him out, you know, like whatever.
The reality of the situation is, Lisa, sometimes you can do everything right and still lose.
Exactly. That's a lesson I had to learn that day, and I did not take it personally until he asked me to play again, and I was like, no.
No, I will take it personally if I play again.
I will not play against you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just remember like playing laser tag as a kid and having so much fun and not caring, like just running around like playing. I do remember having...
Yeah, be a kid, Lisa.
Yeah, but in that moment, I was enraged. I was like, this is impossible. You need to go down.
You're already out, but you have the gun to his chest. You're like, you're coming with me, kid.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think I learned a trick that I didn't know, but he did know, which I think is partly why he was getting better than everybody else. Is I always thought you had to target the vest only, but apparently the gun is also a target. So, and it's a much bigger target, and it's lit up. So it's it's a lot easier to hit the gun than it is to hit the vest, because people have their arms in front of their vest. They're blocking their targets, you know? So,
can't block your gun.
You can't block your gun. So yeah, I think that's what he figured out really quickly. And I did not know.
Interesting.
So, and I confirmed it with the guy who worked there. I was like, hey, is the gun an actual target? Can you shoot the gun as the target? And he's like, yeah, totally. I was like, oh, okay. But I did never play.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, I was too little, too late. I did not play after I learned that. So yeah, that's why I think like the Asian culture has this, I don't know what they learn as children, or like how they learn these values, or like how they learn to like zen out and not stress so much about perfection. But even though their stuff turns out perfect, like how does that happen? Maybe that's why. Maybe because they're not worried about perfection, that it just turns out perfect. They're just more worried about the process. You know, they're more worried about each individual step.
Or they grow up worrying about perfection.
Or maybe
all the time,
maybe they're like totally anxious inside. They're like...
Or maybe it's a mixture of
both. Yeah, I guess that's true. Could be. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's why you got to play single player games. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption recently, and it's infuriating.
Oh, really? Is that also a solo game?
Yeah, it's a solo game, but it's like I swear that game is designed to absorb your time. Like it is. I think it was an intentional design choice. Like I think they're trying to get people to like chill out and be like, look, it's like a cowboys kind of game. So it's like, look, you're in the Wild West. You're a cowboy, and you're just on your horse trotting through the woods and avoiding rattlesnakes or whatever. But I'm like, dude, it's like every mission, every conversation is like so long, and there's so little saving in between that it's like you can't just like leave. You can't just like, oh, I gotta go eat, so I'm gonna put it down. It's like when you're in a mission, it's like you gotta complete the entire mission before you can go do anything.
That's a parent's nightmare. When it's like, I'm almost done. And then you're like, parents are like, no, turn it off.
Yeah. And then you're like, great, I just lost 45 minutes of progress.
Right.
And then you got to go through all those conversations again. Yeah. And everything is like, and even while you're like riding through the wilderness, you'll happen upon random strangers. It's like, there's so many things that are just like, oh, I was going to do this thing, but now suddenly I'm doing this other thing that's like, like I happened upon a woman that was trapped under a horse, and I like helped her out from under it, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you for saving me. Like I would have been out in the woods, like I would have been eaten by a cougar or something." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." And she's like, "Well, my horse is dead, so like, can you give me a ride to town?" And I'm like, "Okay." And of course, it's not the closest town, so we're trotting along to the next like town, and she's like, "Yeah, so and then she goes into like all the hardships of being a widowed woman in the Old West, and I'm like, "Yep." It's just like I was gonna go do another mission, but
I know.
there's this whole thing, and honestly, those are some of the most interesting interactions because they're like kind of realistic and like well written and stuff, but they're not condensed at all. It's just very like you're here to spend a whole night like going through a like encounter or something. And every animation is so detailed and intricate and it takes forever. Like a whole mechanic of this game is like selling pelts and stuff. So you go like hunting, and the graphic nature of the animations of skinning an animal. I actually know how to skin a wolf now. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, I guess you never know when you might need those survival skills. So
yeah, and like the animators went through the trouble of like even animating like things like, okay, I can like drape a wolf pelt over my horse's back, but then I can also put like a deer's carcass across the back of my horse's back to bring that into the town for the butcher. But what if I get a pelt and I already have a deer on there? There's a special animation where he lifts up the deer and scoots the pelt underneath the deer. I'm like, how many animations did they make for this game? There's like an animation for everything.
Wow, they thought of everything. Well, I mean, that does bring up the topic that I do believe that in a lot of ways video games are underrated as far as real life applications for from playing them, because I've definitely seen the benefits to that, because a lot of people think, oh, you're just wasting your time, or like you're not learning your skills, or just like watching TV or whatever. But there's definitely been, especially nowadays, there's a huge real life application to that. I've seen like benefits, like problem solving, and like you said, learning probably some emotional self-control, emotional regulation. Maybe, sometimes
depends,
but also more just like there's some, especially like they're starting to get so realistic to the point where you do feel like you're learning skills, like for example, like some games, like the ones where I don't know what they're called, but like where you have to build civilizations and learn how to balance like food and people's livelihood and things like that. Like you're learning economics, you're learning
it's like management
games. Yeah. And then there's also like even the shooting games, like it's hand-eye coordination. Like I feel like there's definitely a translation between being coordinated to a point with targeting in a video game and being coordinated and targeting in real life. Like I feel like somebody who was really good at targeting in a video game, if they don't have like the auto target turned on or whatever, like those extra features that they could potentially do like a bow and arrow or shoot a gun probably and hit a target. Not that that's something we want, but like I'm just saying, their hand-eye coordination, or like maybe kick a goal, or I don't know, whatever.
I've also noticed like a spatial awareness thing. Yeah, that like people that play video games generally, I've noticed, just are better at like navigating with maps and being able to tell like in general what direction something was, where they came from, or something.
Yes.
Like being able to retrace without having to like exactly do a zigzag back and like actually retrace their steps. They can be like, no, where we came from was in that direction.
Right. And I know, like, at least in NASCAR, there's a video game that simulates like the real racing.
Yeah, there are some really realistic sims out there for lots of stuff, like Microsoft Flight Simulator. Anybody?
Right. And I wonder, like, because I think some of these professions do train in some respect with simulators that really are beneficial. And I know, like, I was like with NASCAR, they've hired race car drivers who like played the race car game. And I'm not talking like the crappy games, but like the simulation games where and
The
they
hyper-realistic
are
ones.
actually it translated very well, and they're actually really good race car drivers too. Obviously you need a little bit of element of like, what's the word? Just like
Je ne sais quoi.
like no fear of dying, whatever that is.
No respawns in real life.
Yeah, no respawns. So anyways, I do feel there's some benefit, but basically the moral of the story is I'm a sore loser. I also am not very competitive. I think we talked about that. Like, I don't think it's a matter of being competitive and not like it's more like personal perfection where I just hate not doing well. But
Not doing well is sometimes the best step.
yes,
Then you learn how to
like
do
there's
well.
a good quote that says you have to be willing to be bad at something in order to be good at it. And I think that's like something I really
And that's why you're not
need
good
to
at
learn.
it.
Yes, exactly. That's why I'm mediocre at everything in life. So, anyways, don't be like me. Go out and
Go outside and touch grass.
touch grass and enjoy your little steps to being good at things, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, let me know if you're like me, actually. Validate me, please. I'm not the only person that has a hard time with continuing things.
With stuff and stuff.
With stuff and stuff. You enjoyed this episode, right? If you did, it'd be really great if you're feeling generous. Give us a rating, give us a review, give us some feedback. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you want us to keep going. Let us know if you've listened to any others. Let us know if you think we should do more. Let us know if we're doing a great job, if we're not doing a good job. If you want to check us out on Instagram or YouTube, do that. You can find us by searching No Kidding Podcast on YouTube or Instagram, or you could check out our personal stuff. Hey, we have I've posted some stuff of our trips together. There's some really great videos of us together if you want to see us.
Become a member.
Become a member.
I just wanted to say that we don't have a membership.
No, we don't. It's free. We don't charge you for anything. My Instagram is Lisa Charlotte. Andrew's is I am Shandrew. You can figure out how to spell that. He probably wouldn't mind if you didn't know how to spell that. Just never found him. But mostly just check out our podcast Instagram if you want to find us. We're there. And that's my spiel. I don't do it often, but, we'd love to know what you guys think. So, thank you for listening.
Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
We appreciate you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
And when we're in the distance, you'll hear this whispered tune. So long, very well, big cheerio, we'll be back soon.
Nice.
Nice.
We did
I'm looking
it.
at these husbando boxes.
What's a husband?
There's
You told me already.
the little bento
Yes.
box has got a little. I think there's a little orange chicken with there's some little egg souffles in there.
Oh my god.
Looks like some collard greens and a little square of nori with some salmon on top and a little bit of rice.
Oh,
Are those steamed mushrooms?
ew.
Now you're off
Steamed
of it.
mushrooms? Get out of here. Oh my gosh, the bento boxes that are too cute to eat. Oh, those are nice.
Oh yeah, what do you do?
What do you mean?
If they're too cute to eat, what do you do?
Just pay for it, look at it, put it on your shelf until it turns to mold, and then...
Put it in resin so it never
Ew, yeah, that'd be really weird.
Oh, whatever happened to that guy that put a hot dog in resin?
Ew, what?
Hang on.
I